Good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. I almost said happy Thursday because usually I'm live on Thursdays. It's so good to see you guys. I can already see you down in the chat. I appreciate that. You guys say a good morning, say hello to Claire Shaner, Data Coach Claire, to Nicole Vincent. And I am really excited about this because we're adding in a new every other week for right now, 2 times a month, chat with Claire and Nicole. And to give you guys like a little bit of kind of like where I'll be or if I'll be, all those things, I'm here in a minute. I am going to pop off screen and I'm going to be still in the comments, still in the background modding, but this is going to be kind of like a podcast-esque chat with questions, with answers. Claire and Nicole are incredibly knowledgeable content creators. They specialize in Amazon influencer on-site. They are our favorite kind of creators. They are data-driven, white hat creators. So when you ask them questions, what you know is it will have a data backing and it will be terms of service FTC compliant. So you can always bank on that when you come to these. So we wanted to add more opportunity for our community to come together to ask questions, to kind of like we always get to know each other on these, but also to get sometimes you just need to ask somebody a question where they can verbally explain it. So all of that is going to be happening here every other Tuesday. The Tuesdays in between, I will still be doing onboarding sessions for Wayward Influencer Fruit. But yeah, I'm very excited to have this. So I am going to remove myself from the screen. I'll still be in the comments so you guys can still say hi. But Nicole and Claire are going to take it over, and I am going to be just as excited to be attending as you guys are. So have fun, you guys.
Awesome. Thanks,
Thank
Liz.
you. Bye, Liz. I almost feel like I'm getting dropped off for a play date. Like, okay, Dad, how are we going to play? It's so fun to see people in the comments. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. What an honor. Nicole and I have a few things that we've like queued up to talk about Q4 prep, prioritizing good things, like what to focus on. Both this month specifically is the highest earning potential month of the year, but then also in general, like what is the scope of like zoom in, zoom out, but we can also take questions as we go. Liz is going to be like our background. What's the guy from Kim Possible's name? Wade. She's going to be our Wade in the background to like pull up the comments on her. Anyway, pull up the comments on the stream. So Nicole.
Yes.
Let's talk about Q4. How are you feeling?
I am super excited for Q4. So I know October was a little shaky for a lot of us because Amazon, their back office has been having quite a few hiccups and some scary hiccups of commissions not showing up for a few days. But I don't know if they're updating or what they're doing, but October has been my biggest month so far on site. And so for me, that's super exciting because I know November and December are going to be even better. And I'm just looking forward to opportunities. Like I've kind of been prepping for the past month or so, Christmas things, gift ideas, stuff that I think is going to be selling. So hopefully those videos will start paying off. How are you feeling about Q4, Claire?
I'm feeling good. I agree that like October was both, there was like some reporting hiccups, but also it was my best month yet. I'm been in the Amazon influencer program for almost 2 years and it was better than last December. And so though the Amazon influencer program isn't what it used to be, like open field, the blue ocean, or takes maybe a lot more direct strategy, it is still possible to grow. So last month was my first time that I ever have done over 10K just on Amazon. So not other brand deals and other income streams, but 10K just on Amazon.
That's amazing.
Most of that on-site creator connections. So that was really exciting. And so that has me really pumped up for what November and December are going to bring. Have you ever seen that meme that it's like, is it Mariah Carey that has that Christmas song?
Yeah.
Okay, but it's like I can hear her unthawing. Like November 1st. Like,
Yes.
I feel like shoppers are unthawing. Like I'm starting to see a little bit of bloat in my earnings. I've had some good days. And so I think that November is going to be great. Barring any hijinks from Amazon, I think it's going to be good.
I think so too. I think it's promising. I think that, there is a lot of scary stuff going on, like in the economy and things like that. But I think that there's still a lot of people shopping. There's still a lot of people that need to purchase things, that want to purchase things, that love to purchase things. And they are hopefully watching our videos and purchasing things. And so I think there is a lot of potential, and I think it's looking really good.
Mm-hmm.
So do we want to talk about like maybe some prep ideas? Like what we can do now?
I think when people ask like, how do I prep for Black Friday, or how do I prep for Christmas, or prep for Prime Day? My first answer is always like, you're prepping every single day of the year. Yeah. Like the content that you have made in prior months will serve you well. And also there's additional things that you can do to like ramp it up in the month or two before a big shopping event.
I 100% agree. I think that you can kind of like, okay, let's do some holiday specific decor or things that might sell. But honestly, those are not going to be your big money makers. It's that consistent content creation of stuff that's evergreen, that is selling year round, and just really ramping up. And like, maybe your goal is 100 videos in a month. Maybe you do 150 before shopping season, or 200 or something, where you're just ramping up your content volume so that you have more eggs in more baskets, right?
Yeah, I definitely think like the biggest thing that you can be doing right now is creating a lot of content on high quality products, like high earner products. And so that can be going back to products that are already high earners and making additional content for them. Like, not remake the same video that you have already done, but add a fresh perspective, or talk about a different thing, or like update after this many months or this many years on the product, or doing some strategic product research to acquire things that really are about to pop and sell really well.
Yeah. And I think that is where I know for me, I've had the most monetary success, is putting the research in and investing in certain products, like outside of the ones that like I already bought, just for personal use that I already had in my Amazon thing. But I think like I got to give a shout out to Fluencer Fruit on this, because that helps the product research so much. And really, like, it last season, I was shopping. I needed a hose. I did some research. I found this hose that it was like $100 hose, and found it thanks to Fluencer Fruit that it had like no videos, but was selling like 10,000 a month. I bought it and I made a killing on that thing. And you can do that with any season, not just shopping season, but looking for those opportunities and doing the research and learning how to do that. And also learning, like, it is a skill, right? Like, I've also researched stuff that ended up to be a total dud. Like, it looked promising, right? But doing as much content and quality like that has opportunities. Don't waste your time on all the free crap you're getting from Creator Connections, because you're going to waste your time and you're not going to make anything from it.
Right. I've been thinking a little bit recently about this like product acquisition journey that it seems like most creators go through, that you kind of start with, I'm filming things in my house. And then that kind of peters out. Like, maybe you haven't filmed 100% of things, but like it's the return on investment is starting to go down. Like, you're not going to film your light switcher again. And then you start thinking like, oh, I can get free stuff from brands. And that's really exciting for a while. And then you realize like, oh, these brands are kind of a pain to work with sometimes. Some of the brands are hard. And if you're just accepting any free product, then it doesn't really make you that much money, because either there's too many influencers on it because the brand's giving it to many people, or there's not enough sales volume, or not enough sales volume to support having many influencers on it. And then after people kind of get disillusioned with those free brand samples, then they start turning to, okay, I need to be really strategic about my product research, either strategically requesting certain products on Creator Connections or strategically purchasing those products by themselves. And I use both of those methods. Have recently kind of taken a step back from accepting any brand deal products through my email or brands that reach out to me, even if they're paid. Like, it's just not the best fit for me. But have been doing a lot of strategic reach out and strategic product research, and it's been paying off really well.
I am in the exact same boat, because I think that once you've been in this for a while, like, and you get the whole influx of like, oh, it's Christmas on my doorstep every day, that you get all this, it literally is crap. Like, most of it is crap. Like, you're not going to use it again. And you might make a few bucks off of a few of those items. But then, like, I had a huge pile in my living room of all this stuff. And I had a breakdown on Sunday. I was like, honey, I can't handle it anymore. Like, I can't sell this. I just didn't have the bandwidth to deal with it. And so my husband went through it and he divided it up and got rid of what needed to get rid of. But it can get physically overwhelming. But strategic reach out and product acquisition, like going and buying it, that's where it is. Like, I don't know. I think I'm a little bit burned from all the junk that I'm still trying to recover from it, because there is a cost. I think there is a cost, and I don't think everybody realizes that.
Yeah. A time cost, emotion and cost. Like, just before we went live on this, I was like pushing my junk away, so my like pile of like products that I have to deal with wasn't so high. But then, like, also it's so great to be able to have products. Let's see. I have a comment here that says, I feel that trying to work with CC free products, you really spend too much valuable time that does not pan out. I turn to product research and purchase my own successes and failures. Yeah. I think that Creator Connections products can be really successful if you're being super picky. Like, you're not just scrolling the Creator Connections feed and like, oh, I kind of like that. Like, me likey does not make money. You can still get lots of things that you like that make you money by strategically selecting them. But my favorite ways to look into Creator Connections is to use a software tool like Fluencer Fruit has Creator Connections filters to say, I only want things with so many influencer videos, or a minimum of this sales volume, or a minimum of this rating. And everybody's preferences are a little bit different there. And for things that you're going to buy yourself, you usually need to be a little bit more picky so that it's more likely to pan out, because you have a higher risk there. But if you're requesting a brand sample, like, it doesn't have to be amazing, but it has to be still pretty good.
Yeah. Because I think we just don't always take into consideration that time cost. Bob says Facebook Marketplace is your best friend lately. That, honestly, I think it totally can. Like, that can be a great moneymaker of selling that stuff. But you have to have the bandwidth and the energy to post and deal with all of that. And I do not. I'm like, I don't want to haggle back and forth on Facebook Marketplace, but more power to those that can. So, yeah. And Denise is giving her stuff for Christmas. Yeah, I've totally done that too. Like, last year was totally an Amazon free gifts at Christmas to multiple of my family members.
Oh yeah. I started like putting stuff aside of like, this would make a good Christmas present for somebody. I don't know who yet, but
because
they're
good stuff, right? Sometimes it is good stuff and it's not junk. And so, yeah, you totally can repurpose that for sure.
Yeah. It was funny, last year, one of my brothers is about 14 and he was a little grumpy that all of his gifts from me were like Amazon things. And I'm like, that's my job. That's how I make money. That's how I get gifts. That's how everybody would get a gift, is to use their job to obtain it. It's just a little different.
So it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, let's sum that up. Q4 prep, just do what you're always doing. Create a lot of content and don't get stuck in the weeds of overanalyzation or of, is Amazon posting my commissions yet? Guess what? They're going to post it when they're going to post it. Like, stop refreshing and go film some videos. So,
sure. I think that, like, always it's important to not waste time focusing on little things or getting into the weeds, but to really focus your time on the high yield activities. like one of the things I teach my students in the course, like the very first day, first lesson is like, we need to graph your earnings by income stream. And like, that sounds intense, but it's not, but, and so that they can see like, oh, this is driving 90% of my income, and then like forget the rest. For example, myself, this month, November and December, I am deprioritizing posting to my YouTube channel and posting to Amazon International. Some people might have different opinions, but for me, those all combined are only like 10% of my income. And so I'm going to leave that housekeeping stuff for January and February. Anything that is like tidying up my Amazon storefront, it can wait, because it's not a high yield activity. It's not going to bring me as much money as spending that time in other ways, that filming a lot of content on high earning products.
I completely agree, especially with this season, because you want your content to get out there now, because January, February, March, Q1 it's lower sales, like always, not just Amazon, just almost in any, and except for maybe gym memberships, but it's just a lower sales period. And so that there's less shoppers. So use that time to go back and do the little housekeeping things that maybe you want to do if they still feel important to you. And I think that so often we can get so focused, especially new people, they will get so hyper focused on doing everything. Like, I need to build my storefront and make it look pretty. No one's looking at your storefront.
Agreed.
They need to, post and make the
Am I buffering, or is Nicole? Are we back?
I can see you. I can't. Oh, there we are.
Hi.
There we are. Okay. Oh, we swapped places.
Funny. Okay, we're back. What were you saying? Go ahead.
I'm guessing Liz was buffering since she's on a hotspot.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
I think it might be me, guys. I was just going to say, I'm so sorry. I think it's my connection, but I'm hotspotting, but we're back. So.
Okay, it's okay. So I'm like, what soapbox was I on this time? Oh,
it was a stretch break, everybody. We're back.
So, spending all the time trying to grow these offsite things, and then building your international storefronts, and doing all the Pinterest, and doing like, focus on one and maybe add a little bit once you get this one down. And it just, like, I love that you have them realize that, because really, where is your money coming from? Mine's coming from on-site. So that's where my
creator connections on site. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah. I think I summed it up recently, and it was like, now I don't want to just pull out the number, but it was something like 90% of my earnings is just from on-site and creator connections. And so it's okay if I don't also want to do YouTube and Pinterest and TikTok and Amazon International. Like, yes, I agree that you can make money doing those things, but for me, they're lower yield than what's already making me the most money. And so those can sit until January, February, when I'll probably be burned out making content anyway and be ready for a new project. And that's not a great time of year to be obtaining a bunch of new products, because sales are kind of low and people need to thaw out again. And so that's when I'm going to save all of that, like cross posting, housekeeping, like fixing stuff. I'm just going to let it sit until January.
Yeah. And that's also something that you can hire out. Depending on where your income is, right? Like now I hire out my adult daughter, and I pay her as a VA to handle all my reviews on YouTube. So I literally just upload them to my YouTube channel, and then she schedules them, does a thumbnail, does the description, does the link, does all that. And so you can recruit the ranks. And I'm not a tax professional. There's my little disclaimer, but you can hire underage children. Like, if you've got like a teenager, you can hire them and pay them to do work, because a teenager can totally do like posting on YouTube or, doing your Instagram or something. And that is a tax thing that you can claim, which is really cool. I don't know all the implications. I just know you can do it. And so that is something to look at too. If who can I farm this out to, and it's a win-win. So sorry,
yeah, definitely those things that like I think cross posting is my kids are like my oldest is 3, so a little wild, but sometimes she does bring packages inside for me. Like she likes checking if there's packages on the porch and she'll carry them in.
Hire her.
So that's cute. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, the tasks like cross posting that are just like repetitive and easy but like kind of boring, those are the perfect thing to delegate. And I used to have a teenage assistant that I'd pay $15 an hour, which she was very happy with, and I was pretty happy with too, to do that, like cross posting to UK Canada, cross posting to YouTube, or like fixing videos or things like that. I'd often do it by giving her a spreadsheet and a little instruction video of like, here's what needs done for the 200 things on the list. And then she'd just report back in a week or two, okay, it's done. And then I'd pay her. But she just went to college and I don't think she's doing it for me anymore. So
it's a bummer.
I have to find a new one.
Denise has a great thing. She started asking for exercises equipment to prepare for Q1. So that is
That's
smart.
Great.
Like,
yeah.
Thinking about what is going to be selling in the next quarter is something to look forward. Like, okay, we're going into the new year. People are going to be wanting to diet or exercise. Like thinking about that can be super helpful. It doesn't always pan out because like there's so many options on Amazon that it can be a little tricky because those items might not be selling right now. Like when you're, a month or two ago when you're researching for what Christmas tree or whatever Christmas stuff to purchase, there's no history because it hasn't been selling. So it can be a little tricky with the research department, but you can definitely hit up Creator Connections for that sucker.
Yeah. I found with seasonal products, like exercise equipment is a great option that usually about like 4 to 6 weeks before you expect it to like really pop, is about the right time to be picking a product, because then you're in front of like where the sales volume is really going to skyrocket. And you got to kind of have like
Spidey
prediction powers, Spidey sense there. But honestly, you do get better at it.
You do.
Just this week, last couple weeks, I bought a product when it was selling $400 a month. Now it's selling $13,000 a month, and I'm just patting myself on the back because I'm not one of the only influencers on there. But it was a gamble because I didn't know for sure that it was going to pop. But from what I knew about product research, I was like, I'm pretty sure this is going to pan out.
That's awesome. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Liz is asking 6 out of posting or picking the product?
I'd say about 4 weeks out of like when you expect it to be selling the most. So for example, I would expect exercise equipment to sell the most, like let's say the first week of January. I'd have to go look at like seasonal trends from past years to see exactly where it is. And maybe we could do that. Like, can I share screen? That could be cool. I didn't prep that, but
we didn't prep that. We can do that next time. We'll put on.
Or maybe I'll set it up. And anyway, we'll see. What was I going to say? So if we expect exercise equipment to pop the first week of January, then probably around the beginning of December is when you'd want to pick which exercise equipment to buy, because then you can already kind of see which ones are ranking well, going to be good opportunities. Because if you pick out, let's say, exercise equipment now, which is about 2 months in front, then by the time you get to when it's really selling well, there might be a lot more influencers on there, and it's really hard to predict the sales volume that far in advance.
Well, and if you can get in, I would think if you can get in earlier and you're already showing Amazon's algorithm that your video is selling well, I think that I have no idea what their ranking system is. It's a huge mystery to us all, but Amazon's here to sell, right? And so if our video is showing that it's yielding good sales, it's more likely for it to stay in a good spot. I would think.
I do agree. But if you're one of the first videos to the carousel, when there's just a handful, like 3 or less videos on there, then it does seem like it has more chance of staying. And though we don't know which numbers Amazon is using to select like which videos are ranking in, let's say, that upper carousel, we do know that it's numbers based. Like there's not a like closet of interns that are like, this one gets to be first now. Yeah. And so it's got to be some numbers. Something could be like your conversion rate, your view percentage, view length, helpful votes, click-through rate. And some of those numbers we have. Influencer Fruit on the Manage Videos tab will surface some of those for you. I'm not saying go get in the weeds on that. I'm just saying that your video will kind of like rack up some points, essentially, if it's one of the first ones there.
System for them.
Maybe this is too complicated, but like, let's say there's 2 videos there. If a customer is going to watch a video, they're going to pick one of the 2 that are already there. And then one of those, let's say then they buy, one of those is going to get the conversion rate. And so you kind of have an inflated conversion rate when there's less influencer videos.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if that made sense. Just tell me in the comments if that was just word vomit. Do we think Amazon's finally going to implement an algorithm that is really allocate placements based on performance? I think that video placements are likely based on individual video performance.
Yeah.
I don't have any theories about allocating your placement based on your entire account performance, like your overall conversion rate or overall like sales. I don't think that that's a thing. I would expect, though, that since Amazon wants to sell products, that on the individual product page, the videos that rank in the top carousel are ones that are converting well.
Yeah, that's what I would think too. Okay, Denise asks, why do some products have no or only a couple influencers in the top carousel and then a bunch on the bottom? Why don't they fill up on top? That is $1 million question. Any know there on that one? Because I'm like, because Amazon said so. I don't know.
Yeah, so it seems like with most product pages, what happens is, and there are some exceptions, but most of the time, your video will show up in the, if there is an upper carousel, it'll show up in the upper carousel for the version that you tagged it to. So let's say there's like a red version and a blue version. If you tag your video to the red version, which if you have the red version, you should tag the red version, then it would show up in just the red upper carousel. And then if somebody else had a video on the blue one and they tagged the blue one, then theirs would show up on the blue's upper carousel. And it seems like depending how the product page is set up, sometimes those upper carousel videos will intermingle, but most of the product pages that I see, it's your video is just in the upper carousel for the one that you tagged it to. And then for the bottom carousel, it looks like it's just a buffet of videos from across all of the upper carousels from all of the versions. That's what I've seen in my experience. I'm curious if you guys have seen any differently.
Yeah, I think it really is just, it really just varies. And I don't know how much influence the sellers have on videos, you know, what is allowed. I know that they have to have their brand video in order for an Apple carousel to be available, but there are brands like Apple and there are different brands that don't allow influencer videos at all. And so it's kind of just like, I don't know. It's kind of a guessing game, but I think if you get too focused on carousel placement and stuff, then you're getting a little bit myopic and you need to zoom out a little bit and start going and create more content. But I think also, like, when you are doing research, if you see a fishy carousel like that, that might not be a good investment. To me, like, if I see a carousel like that, I'm going to be like, oh, I don't know about this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and when I'm doing product research, I'll take into consideration all of the videos in the bottom carousel. And if I'm targeting a specific upper carousel, then I want to just consider the sales volume for that product version and not the sales volume for the whole product page.
Yeah.
And the sales volume that Amazon usually shows is the sales volume for that individual version, if there's multiple variations. And then I also use a program called Jungle Scout, which will show me the sales volume for the whole page, which is helpful, I think, if I'm comparing the total influencers for the whole page and the total sales volume for the whole page, to be able to approximate kind of a product opportunity for that page. That's the tactic that I usually use to pair those two together.
Yeah, because there are a lot of items that will have multiple variations. And so I've never used Jungle Scout, so that's good to know that.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. I get lost in numbers though, so I need it simple.
And Nicole, one thing that you were saying we could talk about is the numbers that people tend to get lost in, because there's a lot of stats that people might overestimate the importance of. And so we could talk about those.
I think that's so true. I see so many people, I'm in a lot of different groups, and so many people will get so focused, especially when you're starting out. They'll get so focused on, oh, I sold this on my on-site. I got an on-site commission, but it's not showing up in my creator connections. And I'm like, who has time to watch and compare this much? Like, get off your butt and go make some freaking videos. But that's just me being a jerk. And but I think that sometimes we can get so focused, like on your conversion rate, on, you know, this number or that number, or you're watching other people on social media that have a big following and are posting a bunch. And you're like, oh, so I should be posting off site, and I should be making these beautiful collages, and I should be doing all this. And that comparison and getting so focused on a specific number or a specific sale is going to drive you nuts. And it's not going to put money in your pocket. So if you're in this to make money, you've got to zoom out and do what actually is going to yield money, which is make content and make good content and keep making better content as you go along, and continually refining your system, your skills, and your ability to spot opportunities within the program and how to leverage your individual gifts and skills and talents to make more money in the program. Sorry,
yeah, I agree.
Step down for a second. What do you think about numbers?
I was just checking out the comments to see if there was any about this. I think that the two numbers that are the most important things to focus on are your earnings by month, by income stream. So like this month I made this much from creator connections, this much from on-site, and even like focusing on how much you made each day can sometimes drive people crazy. Like, it's normal to have a low day, high day. And I think, you know, as you make more and like have more content, then the amount that varies will lessen, because you have so much content, it kind of evens itself out, and your clicks kind of even out as well. But honestly, like, I hardly ever now will read through my whole daily earnings report. Sometimes I'll even just check like, okay, that's how much I made today, and not even look at what the products were. And I'm not saying it's not important to look at what the products are, because definitely at least once a month, I'll look at the whole list and say, these were the best ones. Now, what can I learn from that? How can I do that again? Does it make sense to make new content for any of those bestseller products? But even like individual line items on an earnings report can be too weedy.
Yeah.
And then, you know, things like conversion rate or clicks or views on an individual video, or like which videos are placed. I think that all of those are kind of just like vanity and distracting metrics, because if my views go down and my clicks go down, but my earnings is going up, I don't really care.
Yeah.
That's the KPI. That's the one I care about. Also, I think the other number that is valuable to track is how many videos that you're making each month. And to try to increase that over time, to increase your efficiency And, there's a season for everything. I remember one month that I was like sick, pregnant, and made like 30 videos the whole month. And that was low for me. But top creators on Amazon are making hundreds of videos per month, like usually between like 100 to 300 if it's a one-person team. And so if you're making dozens of videos a month, that's the difference. They're using the same strategies, but just at a much higher volume. Let's see, what did Doug's comment say there? Thanks, Liz. Quickly look at the top volume items and the top revenue items each morning, but really quickly. Yeah, me too. I don't read through my whole sales report anymore.
Yeah, I do a quick glance and that's it. Like, I think it is important to take, once or twice a month, go through and see, oh, this is really selling well, whatever. But going item by item can be maddening. You've got to look at what is going to put money in your pocket. And we keep coming back to it, right? Making more content and making content that's going to sell, right? And so when we do that, those of us that are making money and our income keeps increasing every month. But guess what? I know in January, my January is probably not going to top my December. So prepare for that, people. But if you keep creating the content, keep improving your skills, and improving your skills doesn't mean your videos look better, right? Right, Claire? Like, some of our best-selling videos are like shot super fast, no editing, and our hair's a mess or whatever. Like, but we get it done. We get the video done. We get it up there, but it's on a product that the video's helping in some way, and it's a product that's selling. And so being smarter about the content that you're creating and just getting faster at it and more efficient that's the game. That's the game, baby.
Yeah, I agree. Let's see. Doug says, or maybe it's Nikki. I don't know. Doug and Nikki. I also look at which offsite were driven directly off YouTube, so I know which offsite items are driving business and try to recreate those successes. Yep.
Yeah, you can see. Yeah, it's paying attention to what works for you and your audience and your reach is important, because it's going to be a little bit different for everybody, and you have to lean into your own skills and your own talents, because like, if I start talking about numbers, it is going to fall flat and I'm going to look like an idiot because I don't love numbers. But Claire can easily talk about numbers and sound like she knows what she's talking about, because she does, because it makes sense to her. And it's, stay in your lane, stay in your gifts, and expand those and use them in this arena. And it's money in your pocket when you do it smart. Okay, Denise, what do you say? I've started purchasing products to review. My strategy at first was to buy several products of the same type and try and compare and do multiple videos. So I am looking at the report for those. Yeah, I think that's a smart approach, and try it, see how it works.
Yeah, I definitely think that as you're developing your product research, and especially like buy things to review skills, looking back at why things did well, why they didn't do well is really helpful and is a great way to learn.
Well, and also paying attention. Okay, was it actually my video or was it a crappy product? Because sometimes, yeah, maybe your video was lacking, but maybe that product just wasn't a great seller or something. So yeah.
And what's funny is I recently looked at a batch of like 50 products that I bought earlier this summer to review, and there was a few on there that hadn't, like, either had made zero or made like way less than I thought they would. And so I looked at like, why did this handful flop? And the answer for a couple of them was kind of embarrassing. For a couple of them, I totally forgot to ever make a video for it. Like, it just came into my house and then I went to a spot in my house, and I'm like, well, no wonder it didn't make me any money, because I never made content for it. But like, I have a system of like, when things come in, they go into this nest of products, and then they do not leave until I have made at least one video for it. And usually make a first video there on my little couch in my office of like unboxing, initial impressions, and then make an additional video for it when it's like in context in my house. Like if it's shampoo, then it's we're filming in the bathroom, or kitchen item filming in the kitchen, kids item maybe with the kids. But if an item comes into my house and it doesn't go through that process of like, I need to film it first, then it's hard to keep track of.
Yeah. This is probably a good question for you. So Doug and Nikki are asking, how are people keeping track of which products they buy that actually drives enough revenues to cover the cost without it turning into another full-time job?
Right now I'm actually coming up with or developing a new version of the earnings tracker dashboard, and I'm considering adding this as a feature of like listing, but it might be too much manual work. One thing that you can do is like keep a list of the ASINs, and now I'm going to get too technical, and search that within your earnings. But in short, I'm going to make a tool to make that easier. It's in beta right now. Liz, if you could put up the link, if you want to join the beta test, and you'll get early access and get it for half off what it will be listed at. So that is happening this month.
So my super technical answer for that is I just kind of watch and see, like, I'm like, okay, I know I bought these items, and I'm seeing revenue daily, and I'm seeing creator connections daily. And that's how I go on it. Like, I'm sure there's hard numbers. And
I do that too. Even knowing how to do the numbers.
So I'm excited for Claire's tool, because I do like to see the results of the numbers. I don't like reading through the numbers. They drive me nuts.
Yeah. And honestly, Amazon's earnings data, the way that they present it, like the dashboard, the data that you can export, is like hard to work with. So that's why I'm making a tool. Yeah. But also there's a few ways on Amazon that you can check what have been like your best sellers that month. Either you can go to your earnings report and set an extended date range. I think you can view up to 90 days at a time.
Yeah.
Or on desktop, you can go, if you're on your offsite ID, I think it's reports, on like that little menu, reports, and then
it says content.
Products. I think it's products is the one I'm thinking of. It'll show you what your top products have been if you want to like see a picture with it. And you can also see that on mobile. If you go to the Amazon app, you go to Creator Central, and then it's like reporting products. You can see for the last 30 days what your top products have been, but that's just looking at on-site. And I know most people are making a good amount of money from Creator Connections.
Yeah. Well, and the products thing will also show you off-site and on-site is combined.
Well, the products view will show you offsite as well. Okay, nice. I didn't know that. I thought it was just on-site.
And okay, we've got a question. So do we have any advice on how long our videos should be now?
I don't have specific data on this, because, I actually probably could do analysis on this. Anecdotally, most of my videos end up being about a minute. That's like most typical. And then some between like 10 seconds and maybe like 3 minutes is my longest. So in that range. Also, sometimes what I'll do is if I make a video about a product and I got kind of long-winded and it turns out to be like a 2.5 or 3 minute video, then I'll immediately film like a 15 to 30 second video talking about like just the most important point. And I'll post both of those. And sometimes I'm surprised which one does better, but I'm actually going to note down to do a video length analysis because I think that'd be cool. And if you guys want, I post or share information about data analysis and stuff on my newsletter. So I'd love to have you there.
Yeah, that would be super awesome. My videos, I typically I have very few videos that are less than 30 seconds. I typically do 30 seconds to up to 2 minutes, and it really depends on the product. But that 1 minute to 90 second, that 60 to 90 second, that's kind of, for me, I would say most of my videos are in that average. Okay, we got to start wrapping up, Claire, but we've got a great question from Sarah here. How much of your earnings do you put back in and use to buy items? She's still waiting to be paid and waiting for those earnings to buy better items.
You know your own financial situation. I usually reinvest about 20% into either paid tools or products to review. And that's 20% of my gross, so pre-taxes. And I know in one of the surveys I did, it was pretty common for people to invest about 10%. But buying products to review really is a profitable strategy when you know how to do it right. And Sarah, I know you've been in my course, and so you know how to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have a number, but I definitely, it does depend on your financial situation. Amazon influencer is not my only income stream. And so I have more flexibility on what I'm going to purchase. Now, that being said, I typically, when I'm buying stuff to purchase, it's usually in the $20 to $100 range or less for most of my stuff. I don't do super high risk things right now, just because I'm like, I still can't talk myself into it. Like I feel like I'm getting the skills, but I'm still like, I'm not going to spend $1,000 yet. But that's where I'm at. But I think the 10 to 20% is a good rule to invest back into your business, whether it's to buy products, to spend on quality tools that are going to help you work smarter and not harder, or, courses or education to help you improve your skills. Definitely reinvest back into your business, because that's what's going to help you be successful. But I think we've got to start wrapping it up, Claire. This was fun and went way back.
Wow. Yeah. We could just chat. Good thing we can do this every other Tuesday.
I know. I'm so excited.
So the next one I think is on the 18th. Cool.
Yes, it is. So we will be here the same time, same place in 2 weeks. And we've got these scheduled, I think, through January. So
just like skipping one for Christmas.
Yeah, the holidays are a little off. So it kind of it's not completely predictable, but Liz has them posted. But awesome. Like, this is so fun. We're so glad that you guys took the time to hang out with us today. We hope that we answered your questions, gave you some great ideas and some tips and tricks. And hit me or Claire up for, if in between, with questions or things that you want to hear us talk about, because we love to do that, because that gives us time to even percolate and gather data. I'll help. I'll funnel my data to Claire and let her analyze it.
But, data analysis, I'll just write it down and let you know.
So anyway, much good stuff. Claire, any closing remarks?
I wish you guys a great November. I really do think it's going to be good. And, don't sweat the small stuff and focus on your high yield activities, and agree with Nicole. Like, we like talking to you guys and getting questions. And what an honor to have an audience today. Thank you. Thank you for being here.
Okay. We'll see you guys next